Hello everyone, Olga is here, and today I would like to answer to the most popular question we have from our wedding couples. The question is, of course, when to start your wedding dance lessons. It's not a simple question and it requires a lot of information from you to give you an exact answer that will fit you specifically, but I will try to go over some main points and you can discuss it with your partner. First, we need to understand how many lessons you guys are interested in taking and when is your wedding. In general, we always recommend to have your dance ready at least a month before your wedding day. Why is that? Because often wedding couples get very busy in the last month and a lot of last minute things coming up. We are less focused on something else. We have a lot of time that going towards the actual wedding preparation, so your lessons will be less productive than if you do it in advance. Second, the closer that to your wedding day, the less time you have to practice. We of course recommend to have practice lessons also with us, because this way teacher can help you feel more comfortable, and this is usually part of the package when we include those practicing lessons. But sometimes you might want to just do the routine and practice by yourself. The more time you have to practice, the more muscle memory you're going to build and the more comfortable you're going to feel on your wedding day. Again, if your dance is ready a week or 2 weeks before your big day, you're most likely not going to have time to put on your calendar to practice by yourself, and that means you're going to arrive on the wedding day probably with a break from your last lesson without practicing, and you might feel a little bit insecure about that. We have several packages and we try to explain what you can learn within those 5, 10, 20 or 30 hours, but often of course it changes based on what you actually want when you start the lessons, because we all learn differently, we all have different speed of learning, and when you start your lessons you understand much better how much you can learn in each single lesson and how much you actually get in 5, 10, 20 or 30 hours. Said that, a lot of couples, they start with specific packages. They want to add more lessons because maybe they want to practice more, or maybe they want their dance a little longer, or maybe they just want to learn more because they're learning slow. If you put your lessons very close to your wedding day, you don't have this opportunity. We will always touch base with you in the middle of your package to make sure that you feel comfortable, and if that's the amount of lessons you're going to stay with, or if you're considering adding more, so we can plan your lessons properly. But again, if you put your lessons very close to the wedding day, you don't have an opportunity to practice or add those extra lessons to achieve what you're looking for. And this is something that happens very often. We hear from the couples, oh, I wish we started earlier, because people also fall in love with dancing and you start enjoying the process itself, and that's when you start thinking about a bigger dance or maybe more moves, and give yourself some time for this opportunity. Another part of this question is, of course, how far in advance is your wedding. So say you're considering only 5 or 10 lesson package and your wedding is 5-6 months from the wedding day. Is it too soon to start? No, it's not too soon to start, because again, based on everything I said before, it's better if you start earlier, and then you can make a little longer breaks between your lessons in the end of your package when you already have the main part of your dance moves, but at least you're gonna get comfortable with your dancing. I always like to talk about dancing as learning how to dance is like learning a new language. Just think about if you need to give your vows in a different language. Would 5 sessions, 10 sessions, 20 sessions be enough for you, right? So to make sure you feel comfortable, how in advance you would start practicing that language, so you can perform on your wedding day in front of the people. This is a very similar process, because we can just learn a couple of moves and put them together. If we do it this way, you're gonna leave the studio and you're gonna forget. The way we teach in our studio, we wanna make sure that you learn a useful skill that is gonna stay with you for a very long time, and you can dance throughout all your life at the other people's weddings. So we always focusing on teaching you how to dance, the basic moves, the basic spins, that you understand how to do them, and because of that you will not forget those things. So even if you start in advance and we spread a little bit your lessons, you will still remember everything on your wedding day, because you will understand what you're doing versus just memorizing the wedding dance routine. So to summarize and try to give a short answer to this question, it's never too early to start dancing. If you're not sure at all what package you need or how soon, how much time, how fast you're learning, try with one lesson. Start with one single lesson, and after you will feel on your own experience, from your own experience, how fast you learn, how much you learn in that lesson, and you will understand how much sessions you need and how much in advance you need to start. Because of course, no matter how hard we try to help every couple and personalize everything, we also don't know you until you're in the studio, so we cannot guarantee specific results even with the packages that we have until we see you in the studio. And one last thing I want to tell you is that we also have some dance cycles in the studio, so if you're not sure and you don't want to start with your wedding dance package yet, you can try to sign up to some regular dance cycles, and even if it's not the same dance you're going to learn for your first dance, you're going to learn how to lead, follow, how to do basic moves and spins in those dances, and that will all be useful for your wedding dance. So in this way you can start much earlier, take some dance lessons, and then when you start your wedding dance package you already have some knowledge, and again you know how to move your body, how to do the main things, and this is very useful.